Yes, it is true. The Black Ice Hockey Podcast is back in action. My name is Ben Adams. I'm right here as always with your co-host, Nick Jenkins. What's going on, man?
Bessie's an old girl. I'll just say we had a little bit of we had a scary start to the morning here. We weren't sure if we were going to get off the ground or not, but the plane has taken the runway and we are off and running, and can't wait to talk some hockey.
Yeah, nothing like the red ring of death, red static across your screen, or just a green screen on your computer laptop. Really gets the heart beating, you know. It's just. Have you ever had the red ring of death on Xbox 360, Jenks?
I was one of the lucky ones. I never did.
I've had
maybe
it was
because I got into the 360 later than everybody else. Because I had PS3 for a long time and then I switched over. But I never got a red ring of death. I still got somewhere on that shelf over here. I still got my 360.
Okay.
So
yeah. Best gaming console that could ever exist ever.
Of all time. Yep.
So that's how my morning started in Pittsburgh, PA. It was 8 degrees, I think Monday. Now it's 45. So explains a lot. You might as well live in Arctic tundra one day and then back in Miami the next. So really does some damage on my closet this time of year, but we try to figure it out. And I think we're just going to jump right into it. There's probably the biggest news week in NHL that we've had so far this season. And it comes with 2 suspected trades that we were talking about last night. And I'm just going to start with the one that hits true to us, and that's the Jarry Skinner trade. Now, this was talked about and rumored for a while, so I think everybody's preparing for what's about to happen. But now that it's here, Jenks, and they played last night against each other, which we did expect them to score a bunch of goals, and they did. What are your thoughts here?
That game went exactly the way I thought.
Yep.
It down to it. I mean, neither goalie is good. They both stink. I saw a tweet that made me laugh hysterically that said, "The Edmonton just traded for Stuart Skinner of the East."
Yep.
I mean, they're the same person. So thanks for the pick. Don't know how that's an upgrade for Edmonton, and a 6-4 game showcasing your new goaltender. Probably not what you want to do is allow 4 goals in your debut. So, in Skinner's just, I don't know what we're going to do with him. We've got a lot of young prospects in the organization. I mean, we've talked about him before. We got Murashov and Shilovs and still Blomqvist too. Yeah. So
is it Blomqvist or Bloomquist?
I think it's Blomqvist.
Nobody cares how he says it. I care how I say it, and it's Bloomquist.
All right, so your resident enunciation expert on the podcast says it's Bloomquist. So write that down, folks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. I know Skinner's contract expires at the end of the year here. I do not expect we're going to re-sign him.
It's a dump, right?
Move. Yeah, I mean, the move to me feels a little suspicious, almost as if, like, why would we trade for him? It seems like we're punting on the season a little bit, which is sort of unfortunate. I don't know. I don't understand the trade for Edmonton.
Yeah, but were we ever really in this season? Like, was that at the beginning of the season? I think everybody knew the Pens were in a rebuild. They literally sold everybody. This is our first season of actually having a person under like 27 on the roster. So like, I think we kind of all knew it, and the Pens did so well at the beginning of the season that we're now like, maybe we do make a push. Maybe we give Crosby a little help. That's my take. Like, I don't see this trade as good or bad. I mean, I hate Skinner with a passion. If anybody listened to last year's playoffs, like, the guy lets in 19 goals. What do you say, Jenks? You can't win games with more than 3 goals in the playoffs ever in the NHL. So, but Jarry let up 4 goals, pretty standard stuff. we just let up more. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's what we do in Penguins hockey, and that pick is in 2029.
I didn't
I
realize it
just
was
looked that up.
2029.
Yeah,
What?
2029 second round pick.
Good. So we'll be fully into the basement of the NHL by then because it'll be long gone.
Right.
Cool. Okay. I didn't realize it was 2029. I thought it was like 2027, so that's even worse.
No, yeah. So we got him, Brett Kulak, and we gave away Sam Polian, which I feel like Sam Polian comes and goes and comes and goes. He's just like, yeah, trade me if you need me, and then I'll just come back eventually. Like, whenever you guys want me back, I'll come back. And he probably has a spot up in Swickley, just always kind of resident almost. But yeah, I thought it was cool. Like the game last night, it's funny that goalies in the NHL can have their full gear reupholstered to the team's colors, but then the helmet, they're just like, nah,
Yeah.
just screw that.
Yeah.
Jenks, how do you like the a goalie getting traded, and then when he plays, he's wearing the other team's helmet? Just wear a white helmet.
The trade did just happen. You would think that the teams would just have like spare white helmets laying around or something, but
or like, don't they have a practice helmet? Like here's my like, why are we not practicing or like at least like having a blank helmet? Just in case,
I mean, I'm not a goalie, but I don't know if that's something that like the goalies are like superstitious about, or if the helmet truly does feel different or what. But yeah, to your point, looking at Skinner come out in his Edmonton helmet to play against Edmonton was like,
yeah,
just doesn't feel right. But okay.
And how convenient was it that Jarry already had his pads reupholstered to Edmonton Oilers colors the next day after he gets traded? Takes more than a few hours to do that, Jenks.
That's not easy work, I can tell you that.
But it's quality work too. You gotta push the needle through leather and all that shit. But
good work, Oiler equipment staff.
It's very weird. I don't like it. I think they should at least like if you're not gonna wear that helmet anymore, spray paint it white. Just gas it and it's done.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever. It's just kind of like, I forget who it was. Maybe it was Cam Talbot when he got traded, but the goalie was wearing like opposite pads because he couldn't get a reupholster or something like that. Like, it just looks weird. Like, give the guy at least a day, like a day or two to get him reupholstered. But another awkward situation, Jenks, that we have written down about that game is not awkward for this man, but awkward for Stuart Skinner. Leon Draisaitl, 1,000 points. Scores it on his old buddy Stuart. I think Stuart Skinner may have let that goal happen. He saw Leon Draisaitl touch the puck. He's like, "Come on in, come down Broadway." Give me your thoughts about it.
You think it was sabotage? He's like, I'll just let him have it.
I'll open up this massive hole right to my left side so you can sneak it in. Out of
here. I think a lot of times, like it's always when you talk about Edmonton and you don't talk about their goaltending issues, because that's always one of the biggest topics. Everybody's always hyper fixated on McDavid. Like, oh, McDavid is the Oilers. McDavid is the Oilers. I think a lot of people forget how good Draisaitl is. I mean, to me, it reminds me of basically Crosby and Malkin in Pittsburgh. Yeah. I mean, Malkin going anywhere else in the NHL for much of his career would have been their top center, their top forward. And Draisaitl is very much the same way, where if they didn't have McDavid, he's their star player. So they've really got this Crosby-Malkin dynamic going on there, where they're lucky enough to have two of the top players in the game. I mean, I would definitely consider Draisaitl one of the top 10 players in the NHL right now.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you how effective he is. I mean, he contributes with or without McDavid. They put him on the same line. They separate him. They do all kinds of different stuff, and Draisaitl's always getting on the score sheet. I think he's got more 100-point seasons than he doesn't have 100-point seasons. So, yeah, it's great for him. He's still young. He's still got a lot of juice in him, and he hit a major milestone pretty early in his career, and I think he's got a lot more to show. So, if that Oilers management staff can ever figure out the defense and goaltending, they certainly have the scoring that they need to win a cup there.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool moment, I think, in anybody's career to score 1,000 points, 100 points or whatever you in whatever league, I think is pretty special. And just doing it at the highest level and seeing how fast that man has just like turned the corner up there in Edmonton, even without McDavid. Like he's still dominant. And that's like the scariest part. Like you lose McDavid to not re-signing him after his 2-year contract. Do you just say, hey, we're going to build around Leon Draisaitl? Look what they're doing over in Minnesota. So I think it is possible, and you have to look for find some sort of hope in life in Edmonton. I think you found it in Leon Draisaitl. It's just, I think what people are talking about, the awkward moment during that game is they scored on Stuart Skinner, right? The ex-teammate that just kind of got traded. Mm-hmm. Right in front of him. They're selling right next to him. And Stuart Skinner just has to awkwardly, clear the crease as Jarry comes down and celebrates. He's just sitting there like, crap, dude. I wish I was over there celebrating with him too. I'm sure he sent a text after the game, but that's got to be awkward. That's not a fun moment to be a part of.
I just wonder if there was a part of Skinner's his knee-jerk reaction was, oh, let's jump in, that's my teammate, and then he's like, oh, wait a minute, he was my teammate yesterday, but he's not anymore.
Right. That's the weird part about athletes and just being a part of the sports world in general. You could be warming up with a team, get traded, and have to get on a plane to play that afternoon on the West Coast. That's how didn't Dougie Hamilton do that?
Dude, there have been examples. Yes, even worse. There have been examples of trades where they've been traded to the other team. So you pack your bag and you go down the hallway and get ready in the other dressing room in your own barn.
Yeah,
that's got to be the worst case scenario.
Right. Yeah, and I just feel bad for the guy, in a sense, because maybe change your name first before I actually like you. But at the same time, yeah, it's good for Leon Draisaitl, bad for Pittsburgh for getting Stuart Skinner. I don't think he's going to last in Pittsburgh. We might toss him off the team at the end of the season, but at least he gets to have a prove it this year and see if he can land in a better position moving forward. And the Penguins, not to keep bagging on them, but the last couple games, Jenks, we got to talk about it. This has to be the first time in NHL history ever to exist ever. Maybe Buffalo if you go back, but I don't know. Depends. Going into the third period. I don't even know if we want to lead anymore. No. I want to be losing in the third period. We lost multiple back-to-back multi-goal leads in the third period alone. And in one game, it was with 12 minutes left. Anaheim, and then against freaking Utah. What are we doing? Is it just we shut down? Our alien ahead mega mind coach can't get the boys riled up in the locker room in the intermission, Shanks? What's going on?
I don't know what it is. If there's if there's some sort of sense of we get too comfortable, we're up a couple goals, we got this in the bag, and then you let in that first goal, and then it's uh-oh, wait a minute, we got to still play hockey here. And then you let in the second one, and then the panic really starts to set in. You're like, oh boys, we got to wake up. And by then it's too late. I mean, which game was it?
The 4-goal one was Anaheim.
So then it must have been
0.1 seconds was Anaheim.
Okay, so I'm thinking of, was the other one
Utah.
Utah? Okay, so that I I had something going on that night, and I left my house, and it was 3-0 Pens. I'm like, okay, sweet, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like they're playing good. I'm not gonna miss anything. We're good to go. Don't I check later? Like I'm not. I said later. Not even that much later. I checked my phone for the score. Like when I got to my destination, like 15 minutes later, and it was 3-3. I was like, what happened? And
Right.
like, what? We looked great. We were up 3-0, and we just stopped playing. Is that what happened? And then we ended up losing the game. So, um, I don't know what's going on with them. All I know is that this is probably driving Sid absolutely crazy. Um, and I don't know if it's a team issue or
Yeah.
a coaching issue or what. I don't know what the heck's going on, but they've got to find a way to snap out of this if they want to save the season. Because the way we're heading right now, they're going to find themselves out of the playoff picture in a hurry.
Yeah. I think, it just goes to show like there's lack of effort.
Yeah.
Whether you're playing baseball, basketball, hockey, football, whatever, when you have a lead, I don't care how good you are or what level you are, you get to breathe. You're like, all right, we got 2 goals, we got 3 goal lead. We can afford to be sloppy a little bit. Like take your breaths. You don't have to hurry too much. And I know, like you may say, Blaine, these guys are getting paid millions and millions of dollars to fucking skate out there. Well, yeah, but everybody does it. It's human nature. You get complacent, relax a little bit. But in the NHL, in these major sports leagues, it can turn quick. And if you, let up for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, you could be in a tied game, And I get the last minute of the game, 6-on-5, you're an empty net, you're pinned down in your zone, you can't get the D-man change. And Letang, like to me, being out there at the end of the game has been so detrimental this season. Like he's like a baby bird who doesn't really know he has wings, that he just like flails around in the crease. He's just throwing a stick around like Rob Scuderi, but guess what? He's not Rob Scuderi because Rob Scuderi will sacrifice his freaking face for the puck. I don't understand or get like why we can't have like a big body like D-man kind of take that lead from him. I don't know if we need to trade for one. I don't know if there's one in the AHL somewhere. I don't know. Maybe we need to bring up a Wheeling Nader. Hey, Pens, I'm on call. I got eligibility left,
Yeah.
But maybe that's it, Jenks. I don't know.
I don't know if they've got to do something. I mean, I feel like the way they started off the season was fantastic. Like the energy was high. They got this fresh, I don't know, the fresh sense about them with all these young guys that were in the lineup.
Yeah.
Seemed to bring some energy. And I don't know if they can't be running out of gas. We're not even halfway through the season yet. So I really don't know what's going on. It probably is mostly mental at this point, mental lapses of whatever. So they're going to be getting a Christmas break soon. Maybe they just need a couple days to recharge and get back at it, but they got to do something.
Yeah, it's just sad to see. My dreams of owning season tickets were basically stolen from me over the last couple weeks, but maybe they'll get me next year. I don't know. With the way ticket prices are going, Jenks, if you wait to the day before, literally lower bowl tickets are like $50. That's how bad it is right now. Even if like wait till game time, they'll be like 30. It's pretty.
That's
brutal.
Nuts. I remember back in in the peak, I'll say the 2016-17 era, you couldn't find a ticket in the arena, like last row of the arena, for less than $100.
I know, yeah,
easily. So how we've fallen to this.
Watch the prices for like the last year of Sid's contract. They're going to be like $9 gajillion. It's going to be freaking insane.
When he says this is my last season, everybody's going to want to be in that arena every game. So yeah.
But all right, let's jump over to the other trade news on the block this this past week. Quinn Hughes said sayonara to Vancouver. I'm heading back to the States, back to land of hockey. Minnesota Wild signed him. I don't even think Minnesota was on anybody's card to get him, to be honest with you. I think Bill Guerin found some silver dollar laying around his house. He's like, oh, I'm going to use this. Quinn Hughes, come here. And got him. Now, they did have to trade one of their star young guns with Zev Biam or Biami or Bauer or whatever his freaking last name is. But I think, I think that gets Kirill Kaprizov, up on his toes a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So to your point about this not being on anyone's radar, did you happen to see the clip from, I think it was Spit and Chicklets, where they interviewed? Yeah, well, it was, because it was Biz asking the question. They were interviewing Bill Guerin, and they straight up asked him, they're like, so when was Quinn Hughes on your radar? And he was like, Monday, basically the day that I made the deal. They're like, what? How's that like? He's like, well, there's all this stuff floating around about who's going to get Quinn Hughes and what the return's going to look like. And he's like, obviously anybody would be lucky to get Quinn Hughes. And we took a look at our assets and we said, you know what, we've got the pieces to do this and we'd be a better team with him. So I put in an offer and they took it. So here we are. Yeah, I think the easy favorites, like everybody was already signing him to the Devils to be with his brothers. There were a couple other teams that were rumored to be heavy favorites to land him, and I don't think anybody put odds on Minnesota at all. It's clear that he wanted out. It's clear that this trade was going to happen. I think for the situation that Vancouver was in, I think they got a really nice return. I mean, Rossi looks like he's going to be a good player.
Yep.
Zeev, I don't know how you say his last name, Bouillon or whatever. He looks like he's going to be a really good player. And they got a first round pick from it for a guy that wanted out anyways. So the pieces to sort of start this rebuild are already in place, which is a win for Vancouver. But anytime you lose one of the best defensemen in the NHL, I mean, he is a top 3 defenseman in the NHL. Anytime you lose a player like that, it's still a loss for the organization. So, you take it for what it is. You turn the page and move on for if you're Vancouver right now. But I think Minnesota is certainly in a contender position now with all the pieces they had before and adding somebody with the pedigree and talent of Quinn Hughes to the blue line. We've talked about their goaltending between Wallstedt and Gustafsson. They've got some of the best goaltending in the league. Like, these guys go from, playoff team to contender just by adding him, I think.
Yeah, it's that team's looking really scary by each day they sign like these crazy people. But I think, like, to your point, you were saying, like, it works out for both teams, and I think Vancouver gets a lot of assets. If people may be mad at Quinn Hughes, like, how could he leave? He was the captain, said he wanted to be here, whatever. I just think, like, there comes a point in your career where you've given X amount of years to the team and you've talked to leadership and talked to ownership about, like, hey, I need to see this and this and this in order to stay here long term, because we're seeing what's happening with McDavid. Like, nothing's getting better. Nothing's changing, right? So at the end of the day, I think ownership had to talk to him like, hey, we're in last place. We heard you are looking to leave. We know you're not happy. What do you want to do? Do you want to stay? Do you want to go? If so, we're willing to start now, because, by the end of the year, end of his contract, they get nothing in return, right? So they just let him walk. So might as well get him gone while the getting's good. Now, what's interesting, Jenks, do you see Besser or Elias Pettersson staying?
I mean, here's the thing.
We're
Like,
trading all these guys. You traded freaking the other D man too, Ekman Larson or what? Who was it?
Ekman Larson's been gone for a minute.
Yeah, but they traded him when the team was like down too.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're one of the veterans that were part of this core that went to the playoffs a few years ago, and you're looking at the situation in Vancouver, and you just saw the best player in your organization and your team captain get traded.
Right.
Your next reaction is to go to the GM's office and say, okay, when's my trade coming? Yeah. Because look, it's I'm sure a big part of the frustration for Hughes and for these other guys that you just named, it's probably all the same feeling, is they want to be in a position to win a Stanley Cup. That's everybody's goal in the NHL. You get to the NHL and your goal is to win a Stanley Cup. And with Vancouver over the last couple of years has just continually taken steps back. I mean, they're getting one step worse every season. They've kept the core largely together, and they've tried to add some pieces in some areas, and it just hasn't worked out. So the reality of it, I think, is if you're a player, if you're Besser, if you're Pettersson, maybe Demko too. If you're one of these guys that is in your prime currently, and you're playing on the last place team in the NHL, you're looking at management and you're saying, hey, look, I have value to you. I want to go and try to win a championship. This team is going the wrong direction. Trade me now. It's best for the organization. It's best for me personally as a player. Trade me while you can get the maximum return and put me in a situation to win. That's what if I was one of those players, that's the conversation I would be having.
Yeah, I agree. And, it sucks. Like, some of these contracts, have no trade clauses in them where,
right,
teams can do this, like just get rid of your franchise player's favorite D-man. And then they're like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, you just want me to sit here on my hands?
Right.
That's what I was looking up. I was like, when did Brock Besser sign? He literally signed this offseason to a 7-year deal. And the first 4 have a no trade clause in them. So he's locked up in there for 4 years. Maybe they're thinking is Zeb Buyam or Bayami is the answer in the next 4 years. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how some of these players grow and evolve. Yeah. I mean, Minnesota's looks scary good. So we'll definitely moved into one of the favorites out of the West now. So gonna have to keep an eye on them as they move forward. And teams coming out of the West are hot. Anaheim's hot. The Sharks are even hotter. And on that Sharks team is a kid drafted first overall. Did I shit on him? Yes, I did. I shit on every first overall draft pick because they're not as good as Crosby. Everybody's like, oh, generational. No, he's just good. He's just good. He's not generational. Ain't nobody generational yet except McDavid and Crosby. That's it. Connor Bedard, good. Celebrini, good. Nobody else is next level. But Celebrini trying to make his statement to me with 4 points again for the 3rd time this season, Jenks. What do you have to do to shut this kid down?
Celebrini is must-watch hockey right now.
Yeah.
I know it's hard. We live on the East Coast. The Sharks play 3 hours behind us. Hard to watch them sometimes. But this kid, everybody's like looking at him and saying, okay, he had a good year last year. There's nothing wrong with his year last year. But they're saying, okay, let's continue the progress. Let's take another step this year. And what he's done is he has taken a leap. He is 3rd in the NHL in points behind, guess who? McKinnon and McDavid. To be in that company is pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
And he's got 3 4-point games this year, and he's got, 2 hat tricks I think he's got this year. I mean, he is the core of that team. They've got a lot of good other pieces in San Jose. I mean, they've got Will Smith, and they've got William Eklund, and they've got, we can we could list off probably 4 or 5 good young players, but Celebrini is jumped to another level, and that's what Sharks fans were hoping to see. I think there was some skeptical reactions to his draft year when he was in college, and people saying, "Oh, he didn't light the NCAA on fire.
He didn't score a million goals." Yeah.
Right, and it's the same situation that we have right now with Gavin McKenna. I'm getting a little off topic here, but it's the same situation we have right now with Gavin McKenna, where people have to realize, like, timeout. This kid is 17 years old, playing against full-grown men, and is exceeding a point per game. Like, he is growing, he is developing, and I think what that shows is that had a positive impact for Celebrini. And I think, as we think forward a little bit, I think it's going to have the same positive impact for McKenna when he jumps into the NHL. So, let's not get too caught up in points as we look at these prospects moving forward. And remember that this is all part of the process. Players develop at different paces. Players have different paths to the NHL. And Celebrini, it seems like Celebrini's path was exactly what you would hope. Because in his second full season here, he just looks dynamite. So
yeah, it's interesting. That's why I'll always talk about it, and I'll always hate it. The stupid comparisons that all of the draft people do. It happens in the NBA, NFL, and NHL. Oh, this player's comp is Patrick Kane is his ceiling. Like, well, now everybody's gonna think he's Patrick Kane coming out of the gate. Like,
right?
No, Patrick Kane didn't turn it on until a few seasons after, right? Like, they just don't do that normally unless you're freaking weird like Crosby. That's what I mean, like, when we say generational. Like, you'll hear NHL Network and all these talking heads say, "Oh, Celebrini's generational, Matthews is Marner's generational." No, they're not. They're very, very good, but they're not changing the game. McDavid, the guy literally skates the speed of lightning. Everybody after him is trying to copy his style. I would say it's almost like a Nathan McKinnon stride mixed with just freaking long legs and speed and hand. It's disgusting to watch. The way he can just go through the whole team and score a goal is stupid.
Yeah.
Get me out there, Jenks. I'll put him down. Right on his back.
Hey, look, he made Zach Hyman a 50-goal scorer. He can make anybody a 50-goal scorer.
Garbage man. Just freaking sit. He said, sit in front of the net and freaking collect my goals. All right. But yeah, Celebrini's looking really good, and hopefully this is a good sign of what's to come. I'm hoping injury free. So that's just what I'm saying. As far as everybody else goes, they can all jump off a bridge. I don't care. Metaphorically, of course. Another topic that came up that I wanted to talk about was the Tampa Bay and Boston Bruins revealed their Stadium Series jerseys, and I'm like tired of like talking bad about these jerseys, but I just think over the last 4 or 5 years, they've just been so bad. Like, I don't remember one ever being good. Like, the Red Wings always have good ones because they can just they just have that style. But Tampa Bay, Jenks, what is that jersey? What is it?
We've seen so many different jerseys this year. We had an entire podcast where we were reviewing all their jerseys, and
we did.
There's been a lot of disappointing jerseys. This Tampa Bay jersey is awful.
Awful.
Somebody needs to lose their job over designing this jersey. It is, I pulled it up right now so that I could talk through the details of it. But there's not a whole lot to talk through because all they did was take their primary color blue base jersey, slap in some baby blue accents, put TBL on the chest, and call it a day. You're telling me you couldn't have got any more creative with it
Yeah.
at all. You guys got primary logos and secondary logos, and didn't they put that stupid skull on the shoulder? These jerseys are so bad, and I expect there to be a riot in Tampa Bay over how bad these jerseys are. They're terrible. There's no reason that any Tampa Bay fan's going to go out and buy that jersey. None. Unless you've got money to burn.
Yeah, it's just like the Penguins yellow jersey. Like, I don't know if they all were just like, you know what? We're just going to have the worst jersey season this year. I don't know if they're saving. Maybe they're working on a deal with Bauer to just use all the trash jerseys with Fanatics. I don't know if it's a Fanatics thing where like they can only do so much, but I just then they have like the skull and like chain or skull and like bead thing around the arms. Like, where's the skull? Where's the Pirates ever been a part of Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay Stingrays. I mean, or not Stingrays. Rays for the baseball team. Maybe the Buccaneers. Are they playing in Tampa, like in Buccaneer Stadium?
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
If they're gonna do this pirate thing, they at least got to explain it, because if they would have came out and said, hey, we're trying to incorporate, all of our teams in here. I think the Rays have some baby blue in them. And then they're like, oh, well, we're going to use a skull for the Buccaneers. And, we're really we're uniting our city, our sports teams here. If they would have came out and explained that, be like, okay, I understand. That makes some sense.
Right.
It still doesn't account for how lazy the jersey design. TBL. Okay. You're telling me that's the best you can do with your primary logo location on the chest, on the jersey. We're just TBL. Okay. Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
And who approved that? That's even worse. Somebody looked at that design and said, I love it. Let's print them. Put the names on the back. That's fantastic.
I love it. Yeah.
You're getting a Christmas bonus. Love it. Sign up for that.
Hit send. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. I did look it up. It's in the Buccaneers Stadium.
Okay. All right. So like that, maybe there's the skull.
But like that's the thing. Why did I have to look it up? Like I should already know, right?
Yes.
Now let's flip the coin, Jenks. The Boston Bruins. I get it. I get the logo. It's like the old retro logo.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at the bear in their logo, the bear looks like it ate 4 bears. I don't. Jenks, what is it just this year's thing? Like it's bad. It's real bad.
A well-fed bear, man. I can't bash the Bruins as bad because they did use the retro logo, even if the bear looks a little bit bloated. But at least they got something in there other than just letters. Like I can't stand just letters. Can't stand it. Give me something. If I'm buying a Penguins jersey, I want the Robo Penguin.
Yeah. That's I'm literally saving all of my money to buy 50.
Yes, don't just give me letters.
Right.
And if you're gonna give me letters, give it to me. Give me like the primary letter and put it inside a logo. Like I think of what were they? The P and the shield from the Winter Classic or whatever it was a couple years ago.
The pit and the Keystone logo.
Yeah. Get
the shield.
I don't know. I couldn't come up with the word Keystone.
You live in PA.
Yeah, that's a total brain fart on me. I'll take all the bashing for that.
Okay.
Just write me
Keystone State.
Folks.
Nothing. Yeah. You didn't even ring a bell. Got it.
Yeah, I'm still sleeping. Okay, so I don't care what time of day it is. I'm still asleep. Yeah, give me something more meaningful. Like the Keystone ties back to Pennsylvania. Okay, that's great. Give me that logo. I'm okay with that. TBL. In a line, vertically down, just TBL. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think they're. It's tough to say, but I think they're going for the younger crowd, the younger kids with these jerseys and these games because they're certainly not that interesting to watch anymore because there's 9 million, and I feel like every team has one every other year, and it just lost its mojo for me in the Winter Classic. Like that was like a game everybody got up for. The first one ever. They filled the Bills Stadium. It was snowing and it was like -20, and they filled the Bills Stadium for Buffalo versus Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Like I don't care. Like you can't get that anymore. You can't get that feeling. I think, at least for me, it's kind of wonky to have all these games. I remember one year weren't there like 4 stadium series? Like what is it's just too much.
You've taken the meaning of an outdoor game out of it.
Yeah.
We talked about. I know we talked about this at one point last year, and I still feel the exact same way. If you just had the Winter Classic be your single outdoor game of the season, it would still be very meaningful. People would get excited for it. By adding these stadium series games, I see what they're trying to do. But now you've drawn less of an audience for your Winter Classic game. You've got, I'll watch the Stadium Series. It's not a big deal. Oh, my team isn't in it. I don't. People used, like to your point, people used to be, hey, January 1st, I'm sitting down at 1 o'clock and I am watching the Winter Classic game because we only get one of them a year.
Yeah.
You just don't have that same feeling anymore. So I agree with you. I think they're getting carried away with the outdoor games. I don't think the Stadium Series should be a thing. And I think these jerseys should be lit on fire before anybody buys them.
I agree. Nothing more to add there. One last tidbit I found out this week, Jenks, about the Milan hockey rink situation. They made the Zamboni door too short, so a Zamboni door couldn't get out, and they had to redo the whole rink. How crazy is that?
Oh my god.
Like, who doesn't have a tape measure? One tape measure doesn't exist in maybe just string it across like, or somebody eyeballed it like, Zamboni guy's got to be perfect, dead perfect every time to get right through. Like, what are we? Anyways, I found that out today or yesterday, and I was like, no shot. But yeah, that's true stuff.
Talk about people needing to get fired. First of all,
yeah. There was not one consultant. Not one.
If we're going to trash the designer for these jerseys this year, the designers for all these jerseys this year, this person, whoever was the lead architect or engineer designing this rink, like it's not hard, okay? 200 by 85 is the standard NHL ice, okay? If you're going international, it's a little bit wider. I don't know the exact dimension of the width, but you can frickin' chat GPT it or Google it, whatever. It's easy to find. And then all you got to do is measure the Zamboni and give them a little bit of buffer. It's not that hard.
Yep.
Okay. That person needs fired effective yesterday.
Right.
Moving on.
I agree with that.
If we don't get NHL players at the Olympics because of that guy, I want his head on a stick.
Yeah, I agree. Although McDavid and Draisaitl did say they're unfazed by the Olympics being on a smaller rink, so we'll see.
Good.
Jenks, any college hockey updates for the crew?
No, nothing to report. Nothing new from last week. They're on break between semesters now, on holiday break, so no action. Like I said, the second half of the season is focused heavily on conference play, which is when you start to figure out when the who are the contenders and who are the pretenders. So if you haven't watched any college hockey yet this year, I highly suggest that you tune in to the second half of the season. And a lot of these guys, keep in mind, a lot of these guys that are lighting up the NCAA right now are going to be playing for their country at the World Juniors too. So there's another good opportunity to see some of the next prospects for the league playing in person. So.
Yep, it'll be a nice end to the year, and then, end of the year, and then beginning next year. That's when we're going on our Penn State trip.
That's right.
Should be pretty nice. All right, everybody's favorite segment, writing on the wall pick. We're doing Saturday, December. Let me pull up the schedule here. December 20th. Let's see how many games. Yeah, full slate of games here. Jenks, I'm going to start this one.
Do it.
I see a potential matchup against a couple trade candidates that were just happened this week. I wanted to take this one before you could. We got Oilers versus Wild, and I think it's apropos. It's my vocabulary word of the day.
Wow.
Quinn Hughes versus Tristan Jarry. Basically the guys that nobody wanted but everybody got. I just think this Wild team is so nasty that they're never going to lose a game. I think like the whole team probably was like, oh my God, thank the Lord. And everybody's like, everybody's on gas right now. I think they're going to be on gas for another 2-3 months past the Olympics. So I'm taking the Wild over the Oilers because Jarry is going to get lit up by these guys. And it's going to be like 7-2. Calling that score. 7-2 Wild, but take them responsibly just as the winner.
High scoring action. I like it. I'm glad you went first too, because that was the game that I immediately snapped to. I was like, oh my God, this is such easy money. Like I'm going to hammer the Wild in that game. I don't care if the line's like minus 300. I'm hammering the Wild. Because the Oilers are only good because of McDavid and Draisaitl, and Jarry stinks. And yeah. So I'm torn between two games, so I'm just going to go with my gut on this one. I am looking at the Pens and the Canadiens. Okay, they're playing in Montreal. You know, the Pens have gotten one bad game out of Stuart Skinner.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing we know about Stuart Skinner, it's that when he's bad, he's really bad. But when he's on, he can have some really good stretches. I mean, he's carried that team at times. Doesn't happen very often, but at times, I think he can do it. So I think the favorite in this game, I haven't looked at the lines, I think the favorite in this game is going to be Montreal because they're on home ice. I'm going to take the Pens on the road.
Whoa.
I think.
Interesting.
I think after these collapses that they've had.
And the 9 million overtimes?
And the 9 million overtime losses, because if they go to overtime, that is 100% a loss. I think they're going to have a team meeting, players only, no coaches. Sid's going to say, hey guys, we got to figure it out. We got to buckle it down here. We got to get our game back together, get our heads right. We got the Canadiens. We know they're not a pushover. We've got to come prepared. I think they're going to go into that barn. They're going to play a really good game. I think the game's going to end up being, 3-2, 4-3, something like that. Not a commanding win, but I think they're going to come out of there with a W.
Okay.
I think this is the Pens turning around and breaking out of their slump. So give me the Pens in Montreal on Saturday.
Interesting. It'll be interesting watch to the end of the year. If the St. Louis Blues and the Oilers can do it, coming from last place after the Christmas break. And remember, Crosby doesn't turn it on until after the Christmas break. After All-Star break, that's when Crosby's like, all right, let's go. And then he goes. So we have to keep that in mind. Any final words for the people, Jenks?
Just really excited. You mentioned the outdoor game, the Penn State outdoor game. I'm as we get closer to that, I'm getting really, really excited for that. Definitely excited for Christmas too. I think we're going to try to find some time next week before the holiday to get one more episode in before Christmas here. But yeah, things are winding down, and Christmas is my favorite time of the year. And let's end on a fun one. If you got to ask, if you're 16-year-old Blaine, you're playing AAA hockey.
AAA, dang. Am I rich?
We're making, yeah, I guess you found some money, you hit the lottery.
Okay.
Playing AAA hockey.
Okay.
What are you asking for Christmas? As a hockey player, don't tell me anything unrelated.
Anything
what are you asking for? Yeah.
Oh man. I don't want skates because once you break in a pair, it's tough like mid-season to get new skates. But nothing's wrong with a stick. What I was always looking for is a 195. That was like the go-to standard stick back in the day, the Supreme. You could customize them. That's when like you had to order the customization. You couldn't like customize it yourself. It was either that or an S19. Never got either one, but I still put in Geno's in the back of the net. I used an N10 Sherwood. And that was like the first set of like carbon fiber Sherwood did. So I grabbed one of them. I was like, oh, Sherwood's so good. Yep. N10 was nasty. And they used like crazy curve names too. I forget what I was using, but yeah, I would go with sticks, man. I was always a big fan of finding a stick behind the tree because you couldn't wrap it and set it off to the side. You had to hide it behind the tree. So you didn't see it right off the get-go. What about you, Jenks? What's young OHL hopeful Jenks getting?
Oh man, give me it's. I think a lot of people feel the same way because stick is, you can never go wrong.
Never.
Give me a Bauer SE6 or not a Bauer. God, I'm so fucking drunk.
Jesus. Easton.
Give me an Easton SE16.
Okay.
Those were man. Still to this day, my favorite stick. I think I was looking at this a couple weeks ago actually, because I actually heard that. I think this is where I got tongue-tied a little bit. I heard that Bauer is actually making these things again in limited quantities, like making Easton branded sticks in limited quantities for the lunatics like me. So if I can find one, I might buy myself one.
Yeah.
But those were my all-time favorite sticks. I wish I had 1,000 more of them sitting in my basement, but unfortunately, all of them in the basement are broken, so they don't do me any good.
It's so funny to see how sticks evolve because remember those sticks with the weight, the EQ50 with the weights in the heel?
Yes. Yeah.
They would never allow that now. You blow up the heel, you have a weapon, launch it across the ice. You have weights, you have steel.
Right.
Like whoever greenlit that one needs a talking to. But yeah, it's crazy. The O stick, and now there's a freaking
O stick, yes.
hole in the blade stick from Bauer. I don't really understand that. If you need that much wind resistance off your blade, you need to hit the weights. Hit the weights. Anyways, guys, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Black Aces Hockey Podcast, and as always, I am here with your co-host, Nick Jenkins. We're out of here. Later.